Good morning. Welcome to day 7, Saturday, August 9th. We're camped at one of my favorite spots in this area and set up perfectly to do some cross-country travel today and hopefully make it all the way to the Tulainyo lake. That is the goal. We'll see how far I get. It got really cold last night. It was in the 30s in the tent, but as soon as the sun came out, it warms up quickly. So yeah, we're just getting started. Our tent site's down there in the trees. Yeah, we're gonna go do some exploring. Cool.
So Brian just left on his adventure, and I'm hoping you can hear the barking. It must be a wolf, not far from the campsite.
So I'm pretty much just getting started, maybe about 15, 20 minutes in, and Sarah just radioed me. She's hearing a wolf. And I'm not that far away, but I don't hear it. So just goes to show you, depending on where you are in the forest, you would think that I would be able to hear the wolf only like 15, 20 minutes away from camp, but nope, I don't hear it. So hopefully Sarah's able to record it.
So I just came out of the tent to see if I could see a wolf, and I don't see anything. But I also radioed Brian, and he must have been just far enough away that he couldn't hear the wolf. He was like, "What are you talking about?"
All right, we just went through some thicker forest out in a little clearing. The mosquitoes are really attacking right now. I actually had to give in and spray the DEET. So keep them at bay. I had like 10 on one calf, so it was time for DEET. So I'm going through some wider sandy spaces, seen a lot of deer tracks, haven't really seen a bear track, but I'm also seeing some footwear tread. So humans are also taking this. Pretty cool. Probably a mile away from the trail right now. Just meandering along the forest here. All right, so we're approaching a nicely flowing creek that we're going to be climbing up, but just out of nowhere, where is it? There is a cairn. Obviously, you don't see many of these out here, but we've got one. I kind of remember last time I did this, I thought I picked up remnants of a trail. I wonder if there used to be a trail going out to these lakes. Very possible. So, yep, gonna keep climbing up here. All right, I just ran into another human, a guy who was up at Wallace fishing. So that's a first. All right, I've probably been going for about 2 hours now through the forest. I think I'm about to lose my trees and my shade. So I'm gonna put on sunscreen, more lip balm, and then keep on going, getting above tree line. All right, so another little cairn, and then this is definitely an old trail. I remember coming across this little section of trail the last time I did this, so it comes and it goes, but this is definitely a trail, or was at some point. All right, starting to open up a little bit above tree line. That pointy guy right there, Mount Morganson. Then the one in the background is Mount Whitney. And over here, this pointy one, Tonabora Peak. So I'm definitely on an old abandoned trail now. It's pretty distinctive. So I think this will go all the way to our first lake, if I remember. Stay tuned. All right, we are almost to Wallace Lake at around 11:05. This is a little mini lake right below Wallace. I guess it's part of Wallace, but not Wallace proper. First came up in this area in 2022. Had read some trip reports about it. Had always wanted to come up here and check it out. And finally had the opportunity and just fell in love with this whole area. It's just remote, vast, just really special. I mean, I actually camped up here last time I came, and I would definitely camp here again. Just a day hike adventure today. Up and around that shelf is the next big lake, Wright Lake. I think I'm feeling pretty good. I think we'll give that a go. And then after that, we'll decide if Tulainyo Lake is in our future today. But yeah, just an amazing day of cross-country travel. And yeah, I've already been surprised by one guy up here in the area. Let's see if there's any more surprises up here. Okay, welcome to Wallace Lake, deep in the Eastern Sierras. Whew. A little bit hazy today, but a nice day nonetheless. And we're gonna keep going. We're gonna go for Wright Lake. Why not? Whew. Okay, so we're leaving Wallace Lake, and to get to the next lake, we basically gotta go up and around, and then the lake will be up there. So we got some climbing to do. So I'm not nearly a big enough YouTuber I just don't get enough views, but for backpacking and hiking. But I cannot say enough about these Rocky Talkies. They're so advantageous, especially when I'm doing these little day adventures and I can just check in with Sarah. I was able to just radio her, let her know where I was, let her know where I'm headed. So she kind of has an idea of what's going on, instead of her like just sitting around for 8 to 10 hours and not even knowing what I'm up to or if I'm okay. So I highly recommend these radios. They work great. Almost always can get a hold of her when I'm up high and she's down low. So if you do backpacking with partners or your kids or whatever, they're definitely worth the investment. They've come in handy many times. Even just this trip a few days ago when we both got lost on the actual trail, we were both, realized it and put our radios on and were able to let each other know where we were. So if you're going to be in the backcountry and you're going to be with a loved one, I highly recommend getting them. Even if they're not a loved one, you should still get them. All right, we've climbed up. That's Wales Lake behind me at around 11:07. And I think we're gonna keep going. All right, so we're just gonna take a line like that get up over that shelf, and we'll eventually see our final lake of the day. All right, still climbing with Wales Lake behind me there and Wallace Lake over there. Okay, so basically I've been following the shoreline of Wales Lake above it and just staying clear of this cliff band. I think another few hundred yards I'll be able to make a sharp left. The cliffs will subside a bit. All right, we had to find a way up this cliff face and finally found a grassy ledge system that works pretty well. So we're probably 2/3 of the way up the cliff and pop out on the other side. All right, it's a little before 11. We are way above Wales Lake now. I do not want to miss the entrance to this ledge system on the way down. So I put up a temporary cairn, and on my way back down, I'll dismantle it. No man-made objects up here, but just for safety. You wouldn't think you'd miss this system, grassy ledge on the way down, but you'd be surprised how easy it is to get turned around up here. So yeah, even though I have GPS, I'd rather just do the old school method just so I don't miss that entrance. And like I said, I'll take it down on my way down, so I'll be leaving no trace there. But yeah, we should be popping up. From what I remember, we're gonna have a little bit of a more flat stretch as we make our way to Tulainyo Lake. Well, I lied. I thought it was gonna flatten out after that cliff band. Still climbing. I've been kind of using natural ledges, sandy ledges, to kind of work my way up this thing. I think I'm getting close to topping out, but the views just keep getting better and better. So no rush. All right, now we're in the flat section for a bit. We'll go across this grassy meadow. Now I think we eventually will turn right to get to the lake. Correction, I guess we just stay straight and we're gonna go up and over this rocky shelf. We made it. One of the most remote lakes in the Sierras, Tulainyo Lake. Time for a snack. amazing. I don't want to leave. Just relaxing at the lake. Mount Russell behind me. Tried to get on top of that once before my last backpack here. I didn't quite make it to the top. Yeah, I don't have enough time to try today, but maybe someday I'll get another crack at Mount Russell. Just an amazing spot up here. All right, I just heard a hoot and a holler. I think maybe somebody just tagged Russell. I can't see them, but I think they're up there. All right, this was amazing. Hung out on this big boulder just overlooking the lake for a long time, but still got to get back down. So sadly, it's time to go. Until next time. Glad I got back here. Definitely worth it. Highly recommend it. All right, now we start the long journey back all the way down. You can see those groves of trees. That's where I'll be going back cross country for miles. Yeah, that's a lot further away than it looks. So I have to say some of the cross country stuff that I do is a lot more spicy. This route is pretty straightforward. If you've got any inkling to do something like this, I say go for it. Basically, when you get off the PCT, you hook up with a creek. You follow the creek all the way up to Wallace Lake. Pretty much, you just stay near the creek, and then you head on up to Wales Lake. Then there's one slightly challenging section to get up a little cliff band, but it's not too hard to figure out. And then you just basically are coming up this. So it's all off trail, but it's a really cool venture. You get a lot of bang for your buck. You get 3 lakes that not many people go to. So if you're ever out this way, you're looking for something a little different, a little something off the beaten path, checking out these lakes is something to look into. So that's the grassy shelf I have to reconnect with to get down the cliffs. All right, here's the cairn I made above Wells Lake. So I'm gonna take that down and make my way down to the lake. All right, been traveling through the forest for probably getting close to a couple hours now. Getting almost back to base camp, probably like a quarter mile away. Of course, at the end, it's a climb back up to base camp. So just a gorgeous day out here. Okay, I see our tent. Still got a ways to go.